I'm a person on a spiral earth walk whose vision has been formed in two cultures, Anglo and Native. My name is Sharon. I am also called Shining Otter. I'm here today to advocate for deepening and broadening our relationship with our planet through learning to co-create our beautiful dream and bring it into being. In the most basic sense, we are all made from the bodies of Mother Earth and Father Sky. Everything we consume, all that we invent, all that we possess, our ancestors, our children, all come from Mother Earth and Father Sky as well. We are, in a very real and visceral sense, their children. We've been given this amazing and precious gift called life by these great beings. They continue to support us through the air that we breathe, the bounty that we eat, the clear water that we drink, and the sun by which we warm ourselves. We owe everything to their constant and abundant presence. But the only thing that we can offer in return to express our gratitude for these gifts is the way we live our lives. The original native peoples all over Mother Earth understood the deep truth of this relationship. As caretakers of different parts of the planet, they co-created a beautiful dream that lasted for thousands and thousands of years. In several of the more ancient traditions, they still remember previous beautiful dreams that were eroded or destroyed when people made unwise choices that put Mother Earth and Father Sky so far out of balance that most of them died. Those who survived experienced great hardship and darkness for many generations to come. When the Lakota first encountered the Anglos, they referred to them as Washichus, or fat takers. They observed early on that if they sat down to share a meal together, the Washichus would take the biggest, fattest, best piece of meat for themselves, oblivious to the needs of others. The name stuck as these newcomers began taking more than they needed or ever could use of every resource they encountered. The Washichus slaughtered the vast bison herds, first for meat, then for hides, then just for tongues, then for sport from the windows of the iron horses they traveled in. To this day, we continue to slaughter hundreds of the last free migrating herd at Yellowstone whenever they cross over into what is now considered cattle country. This culture of fat takers proceeded to gouge the mother's skin with our plows, to drain the oil from her joints, to cut down half of the trees that were her lungs, to poison the water in her veins, and to kill forever over a third of the plant and animal peoples. We stole the uranium that native people believe acts as a power source for Mother Earth. We used it to kill hundreds of thousands of people outright, to power weapons that can end life here several times over, to provide energy at the expense of polluting the air, water, and land of certain places for generations to come, all the while creating toxic waste that there is no safe way to transport or store. The Washichu invented chemicals that cut holes in Father Sky's protective blanket, burned coal until it choked off the sunlight in many places, and filled the heavens with bits of lethal space trash and machines designed to kill each other. The fat takers are now the ultimate expression of a culture in which we believe ourselves to be separate from and superior to our planet. The Judeo-Christian cultural imperative to multiply and subdue the earth is being achieved at an accelerating rate. Also accelerating is the rate of imbalance and dis-ease. This is the inevitable result of viewing the planet as an object a big ball of finite resources that we want to ensure we get the first, biggest, juiciest piece of, no matter what happens to the others who sit in our global circle. Our addiction to energy has led us to kill millions of people worldwide over the past 50 years, and to inflict many ugly cancers on our mother's breast. Meanwhile, we continue to literally overindulge in fat, sometimes vomiting to make more room, sometimes taking pills that block the effects of fat so that we can continue to consume more and more. I don't believe that the coldly intellectual fat taker mentality should be entrusted with the care of our Mother Earth and our Father Sky. Instead of being co-creators of a beautiful dream, we have allowed greed and will to power to create a nightmare. Instead of relating with our hearts and our spirits, we have related the planet as an object to be ravaged in order to fuel the power trip we are on. We are witnessing, literally, the rape of the world. I'm not sure what kind of a wake-up call it's going to take for most of us to stop relating in this way. After the oil spill in the Gulf and the nuclear contamination in Japan, we are still wasting time arguing about whether or not global warming is man-made, whether there is a tipping point, when we will pass it, even as the North Pole melts and giant chunks of Antarctica split off into the sea. Meanwhile, in Washington, the House passed a bill to essentially neuter the EPA, which guarantees that the carbon situation will steadily worsen. In the face of this cold, hard reality, what does our collective, beautiful dream for the planet look like? The seventh Unitarian Universalist principle is respect for the interdependent web of existence of which we are a part. For me, respect is such an inadequate word to use in our current situation. If anyone had done to a human couple what we are currently doing to Mother Earth and Father Sky, they would be considered the most degrading and horrific criminal. The word respect somehow implies that we are starting with a clean slate instead of in the middle of the most disrespectful relationship imaginable. There are several steps to be taken before our respect will mean anything. In my beautiful dream, the Native American caretakers to Mother Earth and Father Sky are our treasured teachers. All peoples around the globe begin to live into their relationship with our planet with gratitude and with loving kindness. There is a period of rapid transition, beginning with stopping the degradation. Next, we move into healing what damage can be healed by us while supporting our Mother and Father's own power to cleanse and heal themselves. In my beautiful dream, the finest scientific minds turn away from inventing bigger and faster ways to extract more non-renewable resources in order to develop non-polluting, renewable sources of energy. The food system is revamped. Shortages disappear as it is decentralized. People become healthier when they eat better. Shortages of clean water are addressed with appropriate technology. Voluntary control of population brings it to an optimal size to share our space with the animal nations and the winged ones. Forests are replanted. There is an outbreak of peace. A global vision made up of all the peoples of the world recreates the sacred hoop of life. At that time, our planetary ethics of respect for the interdependent web of life will have meaning again. We will be passing down through the generations a deep respect for the world, a profound and sacred relationship with our Mother and Father. How can one person make a difference in the world when it is so big and we are so small? We can make a personal covenant with Mother Earth and Father Sky to live in a conscientious manner and make choices each day that better reflect our ethics and our value systems. We can become co-creators. We all know by now to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Here are some other ideas. Divest from portfolios that emphasize industries that strip mine non-renewable resources. Invest in farmers markets and community-supported agriculture. Plant a garden instead of a lawn. Choose one global and one local environmental organization to support. Teach all of the children in your sphere of influence to appreciate and be curious about nature. Stand under the stars at midnight with an attitude of gratitude at all that is given to us so abundantly. Donate the excess stuff you don't use or need so someone else can use it. Create a landscape environment for birds and butterflies. Invest in microloans to support others in making a living. Remember what Wangari teaches us. You don't need to have a degree to plant a tree. And she teaches us how one simple act like this can have global effects. I believe that we can create heaven on earth right now by shifting our way of thinking. We might choose to believe this world is a product of stardust and evolution and marvel intellectually at its diversity and complexity. We can align our actions in a way to support its natural development while feeling unaccountably lucky to be part of it all. We might choose to live from the heart, from spirit, cradled by our Mother Earth, sheltered by our Father Sky, making choices that take into account the best interests of the next 7 generations. In either case, we have the ability to be the change we want to see in the world, the moment we summon and focus that intention. In the healing of the world lies the healing of the human spirit. Home we talk, we awesome, we are all related.